Welcome back to my channel. Okay, guess what? Today is my birthday. Happy birthday to me. I wanted to make you a special birthday episode. Today's my birthday. I'm an Aries, if you haven't guessed already, and I'm also a dragon, and I'm 57 today, and I couldn't be more excited about that, believe it or not, because with age does come wisdom, and I definitely feel more grounded and rooted in myself and in my life. So for that, I'm grateful. Couple things that are happening, with I'm getting older, I'm working on, and recently, those of you who follow me on Instagram or Facebook, you probably were you're in the loop about this 21-day cleanse that I recently just finished. So if you want to know more about it, if you're interested in doing a 21-day purification cleanse, you can check out the link in the box. It's going to be the 21-day standard process cleanse. And reason why I decided to do it, because I've gotten a little bit of feedback like, Jackie, you don't need to lose any weight. It wasn't really about that. Although I did put on 8 pounds during COVID. I think everybody can say they probably put on a few pounds, but I did it because I wanted to, first of all, I wanted to not drink any wine. So I stopped drinking coffee. I wanted to just feel the best I could feel because my birthday was coming up. And you know what? I was able to achieve that. And one of the things that really came forward, the biggest benefit, not just losing the weight and being really clear, sleeping well, my skin looks great. I just feel so good. One of the biggest benefits is making the commitment, is all the benefits that come when you make a commitment to do something. When you actually keep your word to yourself, amazing things happen. And so I just noticed how much more confident I felt, how much more conviction I had in what I was doing, because I was able to, give up the wine at night, give up the chocolate, give up the caffeine. I had been able to take control over those things, and it just gave me a feeling, a sense of confidence that I could control other things in my life, at least within myself. And so I came away feeling like not just that I shed the pounds and I'm sleeping better, but I have more confidence to move forward in my life, that I can keep my word to myself. Now, when we're talking about keeping our word to ourselves, it's a manifesting secret. You have to learn to keep your word to yourself, your word as law. Thoughts, words, and deeds all have to be congruent in order for you to create and manifest more quickly with effortless ease. So it really comes down to, what are you thinking about? What are you saying? And what are you doing? They all need to be on the same page. You can't be saying, God, I feel really big, but then you're still having the diet that's causing that, right? It's a conflict, your conflict, your kind of a walking contradiction is what I'm trying to say. So, if you're interested in doing that, check out the link. Otherwise, just accept yourself, love yourself, and appreciate your unique beauty. So thank you for being a part of my channel. In today's video, I want to talk to you about how to be classy on dates. Now, I wanted to inspire you right now by making this video on being really classy on your dates. I mean, I just even love the word classy, because I think that you have an opportunity to make this amazing impression and to have it build into something more. And so not only are you putting your best foot forward, but you're just putting forward that classy part of you that really knows how to step up her game. And so let's go over my tips on how to be classy on dates. So you want to think about, what is the image that you're wanting to portray? How do you want a man to see you? Now, if you're wanting to get married again, I like the idea that you're wanting him to see you as a potential partner, as a wife. And so what does a wife do, say, and how does she behave? Well, she's going to be classy, because it's somebody that he's going to want to introduce to his friends. So the first thing in being classy in that image is all about appearance, right? And I chose this top specifically because I think this is a perfect top to demonstrate a classy look for a date. It shows a little skin, but not too much, and that's important. I don't recommend they show a lot of skin on a first date, not a lot of leg. I know you always hear me saying skin is in, but for the first date, when you're wanting to make a classy impression, you want to be more modest. Less is actually more. So I think these off-the-shoulder necklines are really, really special. This is the Ted Baker. I just got it. They come in a couple colors. Again, don't worry. I'm going to put all the links in the box below where you can find everything that I'm wearing and all the makeup, in case that's something that you want to get for yourself. And so you have 30 seconds to make a first impression. And so you want to remember that how you're dressed is a big part of that. And so what I like to do is I like to find out where I'm going if possible. And I like to go and look at, say it's a restaurant and he's taking you to dinner. Even if you're just meeting for coffee, it's worth investigating, putting time into it. And so what you can do is you can get your phone and you can go to Instagram and you can put in hashtag um, Eddie V's. No, we have an Eddie V's here in La Jolla. It's steak and seafood. And so you could hashtag Eddie V's and you can pull up all the pictures and you can see how people are dressed. You can look at the tables, the settings, even the food, and get a really good feel for what would be appropriate to wear to Eddie V's if you were going there on dinner. And so make sure you take some time to investigate that. It'll be fun for you. And also make sure that you wear your hair down. If you have short hair, that's great. But I think that you're wearing your hair down, not wearing it up or back. I think it just looks good, more natural, and down is a great way to showcase that best look. And also makeup. We'll talk about that. Not too much. Definitely less is more in this situation. You don't want to be laying on the eyeliner, too much eyeshadow. Don't use a big bold color of lipstick. Come off a little simple. And simple is really understated elegance. And so err on the side of simple makeup. Men do like the makeup look, but I've read and I've talked to Michael. Most men really appreciate natural beauty. So really less is more when you're going to show up and be classy. And so let's talk about jewelry. I think, again, simple jewelry. You don't want your jewelry to take over for you, right? I know I love those big earrings and sometimes the bulky necklaces, but if you're wanting to be classy, you don't want your jewelry to stand out more than you. So simple earrings, a simple ring, a simple watch. That's all you need. You don't even really need a watch. It's up to you. So just keep it super simple when it comes to the jewelry. And then nails. I mean, they're looking at everything, right? If you want to be classy, simple nails, I would stay away from the black, like I was sporting in my the last video series. And I just like this color. It's like a pearl white, but a natural color would be wonderful. I would stay away from that. The French manicures, because it's a little high maintenance looking, or it could be perceived as trying too hard. And I do love the French manicures. Don't get me wrong. It's just that you want to, again, this is all about being classy, right? So just keep it super simple. And if you don't want to wear polish, that's great. Just make sure your nails are manicured. You'd be surprised how much men notice that. All right, let's move on to the second tip I want to give you to be classy on your dates. And so you want to really pay attention to your body language. Body language says a lot. It's like a communication on its own. So you want to make sure that when you're walking in to greet the man that you're going to see, even if you're in a relationship, all of this is really helpful, right? So you want to walk in. If he stands up, you can go to greet him by giving him, you can shake his hand. You can take both of his hands in yours if you want to be less formal, like that a handshake is, or you can even give him a small hug. Online dating, you're probably chatting in text, so you've probably had a conversation, so you feel like you kind of already know him a little, so it's totally appropriate not to give some big full body hug, but to give a little hug. Now, if you're not comfortable with this, by all means, don't do it. Don't do anything that will that you're not comfortable with, because it won't come across as authentic, and you won't look confident. And so make sure that your shoulders are back. You're making direct eye contact. You're smiling, because that's the best possible thing you could wear. And you hold his eye contact all the way up to the point that you greet him in the fashion, whatever handshake or little mini hug that you want to do. And make sure you say, I'm so happy to meet you. And you hold that eye contact. That's going to really make a great impression. You're going to come across confident and really classy. The third tip I want to give you is your posture. It is so important. I think what happens is that we just forget, we're thinking about so many things to do and to say and to be, that we can tend to lean forward a bit, roll our shoulders, slump forward. And it's so important that initially, when you're walking in, you have your shoulders back, your head's up, you're making eye contact. But when you sit down, your posture is going to say a lot about your listening style, about how interested and engaged you are in him. He's going to read that body language and that body posture. So make sure that if you're at the table, you can go ahead and lean forward a little. That lets him know you're really paying attention, you're engaged in the conversation. And you can put your forearms on the table. I wouldn't put your elbows on the table, but if you don't have food there, you can put your forearms on the table a little bit. But one thing I want to make sure that you don't have on the table is your phone. Don't put your phone out when you sit down. Make sure you keep it in your purse, even if he has his out. It's just such terrible etiquette. And especially nowadays, everybody's gotten really slack with their phone. And it's such a distraction, and it will set a tone. He'll notice it and take a little mental note. It's just not classy. So keep your phone away. You don't need to talk to anybody for the next 60 minutes or however long you're with him. And just make sure your posture is leaning forward a little bit, leaning in, being open to receive whatever it is he's sharing, providing for you. Okay, so let's go on to the next tip. And this is language. I talked to Michael about this, and he went on, how many first dates is still a big question mark. He says like 25, but then I'm saying it's more like 50. But anyways, what he said was the biggest turnoff for him was language. He was so surprised that women would show up looking classy, but then they were F-bombing and swearing and using slang. And he was really astonished, and he said it was a big turnoff. He literally would just next them in his mind if she used any profanity. And so it's just not classy. Even if it's a little tiny word and you're trying to be relatable, just don't do it. There's plenty of opportunity when you get to know each other, when you've created more of a connection to, let your guard down a little, but make sure you don't, you just stay away from profanity. And also just drawing attention to yourself in any way. It is a sign of low self-esteem. If you have to talk loud, or if you're being telling a story and you get a little obnoxious, it's just, clean up your act. It's just not attractive. And it's a sign of low self-esteem when you're telling a story that you become so boisterous that other people actually notice. Not only will it might embarrass your date, but again, just not classy. So don't do it. Okay. Now, before we go on any further, I want to make sure that you know that you are invited to join my community. Check out the link in the box below. There's a page it'll take you to. It will show you all about what I'm offering. You'll get access to my Soulmate Journey course. That's a 28 video series that gives you very small videos that incrementally take you through everything that you can expect when you're expecting your soulmate. Not only that, you get to join my community of empowered women and get support from them, my coaches, and me on our supporting Q&A calls, etc. There is so much available for you. If you feel the time is right for you to get more support, I know that this program is right for you if you're following me on my channel. So I'd love to welcome you into my community. Now, moving on to the final tip, I want you to remember to be a good conversationalist. How can you be a good conversationalist? Well, we have what's known as social media. It makes it super easy for you to find out about your potential date, right? Go check out his Instagram channel, check out his Facebook, check out his LinkedIn profile, and find out what he's interested in. Find out sports, the music, maybe a trip he's been on. This is going to open up the conversation. It's going to make it really interesting, and you don't need much. All you need to know is maybe if he was watching March Madness, for example, that just ran, right? And that a lot of men that are following sports really into that. So if you just ask him about something like that, even if you don't know anything about it, ask him to tell you about it, and he will light up and start going into it because he's passionate about it, and he'll see you as being interested in him and his interest, and it's going to really create a quick connection, because that's all you're looking for, is a connection to build on, right? So make sure and just don't worry, it's not stalking. I mean, you can even say, I did check out your Facebook page and saw that you're following whatever, and that can go from there. But it's not really stalking. I mean, it is a public profile. Remember that. And if you're posting on your profile and he asks you about it, don't take it too seriously, because we're all on social media now, and it's pretty common. And remember, I've said this in other videos, make sure you don't drink too much. If you want to be classy on dates, you're definitely not getting intoxicated. You're not even really getting tipsy. You're staying really grounded. So if know your limit, know whatever that is. I would say one drink, two max with food, because we all change after a glass of wine. We get relaxed, we get comfortable, we start dropping a couple F-bombs. Next thing you know, that other side of you, the girls' side, when you're out with the girls, comes out and you're making a bad impression and you're not being classy. So remember, just in closing, don't forget to be yourself. Being yourself is probably the classiest thing you can do. If you want him to be interested in you, you have to be yourself, because that's why he's going to ask you out again and again and again. And so I hope this was helpful. Make sure you leave a comment in the box or a suggestion for a topic for another video, because I love making these videos relevant to whatever you're going through. And just know that I appreciate you being a part of my community, and I'll see you in the next video. Take good care.